I'm excited. Here we go. So in the last few days, if you've been watching, you know that I've covered what glute amnesia is. I've covered why it's important to get a handle on that. See if someone else. I had a hard time commenting, so others may be as well. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know that. I did not realize that that was a problem for people to comment on here. Yeah, as I'm going through this, if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask, and I'll try to get to them before I finish up. So, like I said, why it's important, I've covered that. I've given you some tips to figure out how to know whether or not your glutes are activating at an optimal level just through some of those exercises and like tests that I showed you. And yesterday I talked a little bit about what you need to focus on and some things that you need to realize about glute training. Activating your glutes, that's the easy part. Building them out, building that muscle, and getting that perfect booty that you're going for, not just for aesthetics but for strength and power. That's the part that takes some time and some special programming to get you to. Activating your glutes is step number one, and thus we lead into today. Okay, your 3 keys. First and foremost, and I've already hammered this the last 4 days, is getting that booty activating. Just checking to see if there's any other comments there. You got to get your glutes actually activating, and there's a myriad of ways to do that. And like I was saying before, it's really personal. So there's some exercises, some activation exercises that work really well for one person and not for another. And here's where experimentation and having someone working with you really helps with that. But I will say, bands, like you probably have seen them, they're called booty bands, elastic bands, workout bands, fitness bands, like these kinds of things. And you can get them in different resistances. They come with fun little grips. Highly recommend bands for activation type exercises. And I also recommend getting like the fabric ones, because they do have this little grippy part to it so they don't roll around on you. The ones that are made out of rubber, they're not always the most comfortable, and they do tend to slide around and roll up on you, so highly recommend these kinds of bands for any activation type exercises where you're really isolating your glutes. So like donkey kicks and clamshells and some of the even glute raises with an abduction. Those are activation type exercises. Key point is to get those glutes activating, because if you don't do that first step and really warm up your glutes, everything else you do after that is going to be for naught. And something else I was thinking about with all of this training that I'm giving you is that people who are watching either fall into 2 camps. Maybe you're someone who has been kind of allowing yourself to go, or just not working out, or you used to dabble in fitness and now you've kind of moved away from it because you've had kids and you've got a job and life takes over. Okay, so you're either in that camp and it's been a while, or you've never exercised at all. So you're either in that camp, or you're in the camp of, I've been exercising for a heck of a long time and I'm still not seeing the advantages of all of these exercises to my glutes in specific, but maybe in other areas too. So you probably fall in one of those 2 categories. And I can tell you right now, I was the one in the second camp. Okay, I had been working out for a while. I've already told you this in some of those other videos, that, I don't know, I was going for about 2 years before I started to experience the back pain, and found out that it was lazy glutes and all of that. And I was just, like I said, horrified that that could actually happen. But that happens to a lot of people. Even if you're exercising, even if you, got the best plan in the world, you're still not getting the results. And part of that is because you're missing key number 1, which is getting those glutes activated. So first and foremost, warm up like nobody's business. Okay, make sure that your glutes are actually engaging before you move into those deadlifts, before you move into those squats, before you move into those, cable hip abduction type exercises. Anything that you do, you've got to warm up your glutes first before you do them. even if you're just doing like bicep curls or lunges or things that you think, oh, I don't need to warm up that much. No, you really do. So first and foremost, number one key, activate those glutes, baby. Don't let them rest. The other thing, once you get your glutes activating, then what? Okay, what do I do then? This is what you do, okay? Some things you need to know, because not all exercises are created equal. And I touched on this a little bit yesterday, so some of this may be a bit repetitive for you. But once you get your glutes activated, let's see if someone else is popping in. Michelle, good morning. Oh, awesome. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks so much for popping in. Haven't said too much. I just talked about key number one, which if you watched the other videos, you would have seen it's activation. Get those glutes going. Once you get your glutes going, what do you need to focus on? The types of exercises that you're doing those exercises in the right order. All of this falls under proper activation and exercise. Okay, this is still kind of under key point number one. So getting your glutes activating, having the right exercises, keeping your glutes under tension for a longer period of time than maybe what the band exercises can do for you. Okay, those are great for activation, but if you're trying to grow your glutes, you're trying to get muscle there and eliminate fat, you need more resistance, and you need to hold that resistance for longer periods of time. And this is where weight comes in. But like I said, you can't even get to that point of getting those muscles to grow and shaping out your booty without getting your glutes activated. So like I said, first and foremost, number one. Part of this is challenging those muscles, further challenging them with greater resistance. You're not going to get much further with just the bands. I mean, unless you're doubling up and doing tons of reps, you're probably not going to have the same success that you would have if you are using some further resistance, like through weights, and knowing exactly what exercises to do and what you're targeting. So within that, there's a particular order to exercises that you want to do. And understanding that order and what works best for you is really important to your success. So knowing that your glutes are activating, knowing what exercises are working best for you, really challenging your glutes, and not just relying on, a few clamshells once a week or, a few donkey kicks once a week. Like, you really need to program this, and you need to be consistent within that programming. Like I said, you can't just do it for a couple of times and be like, I'm going to get the best booty because I, do some clamshells once or twice a week. It's a lot more focused than that. So like I said, it takes time, and you got to be patient with that. Because the activation part, that's kind of easy, but building your glutes, and I can't stress enough how important it is that you do, so that you can, move out into the rest of your life for a very long time without having these back problems and knee problems, and can't get up off the floor, and I can't run after my grandchildren, and I can't pick them up because I can't even do like a deadlift anymore because my butt's so asleep. Those are issues. So it's important to build the strength. So once they're activated, you got to build the strength. And to do that, you need resistance training. You also need to know, how often should you be focusing on your glutes? Because maybe you've received information saying that you got to do it every day. Well, you don't. You don't have to do it every day. But also finding out what is best for your body takes some skill and some time and some help. Because if you're someone who's been working out for a while and things aren't working, clearly you need further assistance. So think about that. If you've been doing it all along and everything was fine, I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. If not, reach out. Get some help with this, because it really doesn't take that long to get your glutes activating. But as far as strength building, it should be programmed to meet your specific needs and what your specific goals are. And yeah, I can't stress that enough. So in what order you should do your exercises, when to do compound exercises versus isolation exercises, what those even are, what within those work best for you. So there's a lot in this first key of activation and exercises. A lot going on there, and you may need assistance figuring that out for yourself specifically. Because like I said, not everybody's the same with glute development. So there you go. Number 2, proper form. Okay, and I'm not just talking like, proper form to not hurt yourself. That comes with any exercise. You got to do it right so that you don't end up actually causing more damage and, not really getting the results that you want on top of that. So proper form. Just seeing if anyone else is popping in here. Okay. Under proper form, there are 2 main things to think of. So there's a lot of keys apparently, but under the 3 keys, you have proper activation and exercises. Number 2 is proper form. And what I mean by that is you need to have a pelvic awareness. Okay, you've got to understand how you are tilting that pelvis when you are doing those exercises. If you don't have any awareness there and you don't know how to get it, you need assistance with that. And that's not something I can just, tell you how to do. Having someone in front of you, whether that's virtually or physically in front of you, helping you to figure that out so that you get the most out of your exercises. So understanding pelvic awareness, like having an awareness of how you're tilting your pelvis to get those glutes to fully activate for the entire exercise and not just for that warm up. And then when you get into the actual exercise, they've forgotten again what to do because they're very stubborn. So you need to really have focused attention on that mind-muscle connection that I talked about yesterday. That needs to continue into all of this. And part of that mind-to-muscle awareness or mind-to-muscle connection is being aware of your pelvic tilt. Also under proper form is your feet placement. Certain exercises, in order to activate your glutes and keep them activating, have a certain foot placement. And depending on what you are doing, that's going to determine how you are placing your feet so that you get your glutes activating in the best way possible. So again, that might not be something that you can just easily find out on your own through, watching videos online and whatnot. Having someone who is trained in it, who can help guide you, look at it visually, like I said, either virtually or in person to help you figure that out. And within that, there is also foot placement for some people. Having their feet pointing out works best. Having them point in works best. Having them straight forward. So there's a lot of play within that. So yeah, I highly recommend getting some assistance with that because it may be different for you compared to your friend down the road. So keep that in mind. Well, good morning. I'm just on key number 2. So I'm seeing some other people pop in. So the first one was activation and exercises. That second one I just went over was proper form, which includes an awareness of your pelvic tilt as well as an awareness of where you're placing your feet. Number 3, not 2, number 3. I can count, seriously. Number 3. And it's one that I really hesitated to even mention because I could have talked about consistency as a key point. I could have talked about just about anything else as a key point. But I'm going to say it, guys. I'm going to have to say it. It's nutrition. Okay, like I said, whether you're in the camp of I've never exercised before or whether or not you've been trucking along in your exercises and you're doing, really heavy lifts, but still you're not getting the glute activation or the glute growth that you're looking for and that glute strength, it's also tied to nutrition. And as much as I hate to say that, it's true. But I think all of you who are watching probably realize that, like you understand that in order to be healthy and fit, you need to eat well. But if you're trying to grow muscle, you've got to eat well. You've got to know, what's working for your body. So you can't just ignore nutrition. You can't out-train a poor diet. So if you're trying to grow your glutes, and not just for aesthetic purposes, I'm talking strength, I'm talking, flexibility, I'm talking mobility, I'm talking balance, power, so that you can get up out of that chair when you're 80 without having a walker, you're not hunching over to walk down the street. You've seen people, right? Older people, and they're all hunched over like this walking. Part of that is glutes, extension of hips, and keeping your back in alignment. All of that plays into it. So if you would like some longevity in your mobility and in your posture, glute training, paramount importance. And within that is the nutrition. Not going to get very far if you're not feeding your body what it needs to grow those muscles. So even if you've been working out for a while and all these other things are in place for you, you know your glutes are activating, you know that you're doing the right exercises, you have them in the right order, you're isolating some of them, you're compounding some of them, you know what works best for you, but your nutrition is out the door, it's not going to help you achieve the goals that you're wanting to achieve. So those are the three real things to focus in on. That's the what do you need to do. You need to activate your glutes. You need to know the exercises that work best for you to do that. You need to understand how you are tilting your pelvis. You need to understand how your feet are placed so that you're getting the best out of each of those exercises that you do. And you need to get a handle on your nutrition. So those are the three keys, you guys, that I'm sorry about the nutrition part. I'm sorry, but it's just the truth. So there you go. If you have found any of this helpful, or if you would like more help figuring out what's going to work best for you, if you need a program that's really going to get your glutes activating again, get you moving in the way that you want to be moving, to remove some of the pains that you may have been feeling, to give you longevity in your mobility, please like or comment on this video, and I would be more than happy to reach out to you and see if I can assist you in any way. I have a 12-week program, that's 3 months, that can really get a handle on this for you. Like I said, it's so important, you guys, and it's really important to me to be able to assist you if you are wanting it. So like I said, if you're interested in that, just like or comment on this video, and I will reach out to you and we can talk more about what your specific needs are. So that's what I had for you guys today. Again, thank you so much if you've been tuning in all week long. I know it was a long time to get here to this point. What really do I need to do? What really should I be focusing in on? Those are the things, you guys. So I don't know if anyone else has comments or concerns. Like I said, just reach out and let me know, because I'm here for you. So there you go, guys. I'm just going to wait a second to see, because sometimes there's a delay in comments and stuff, so I want to see if anyone else is going to say anything or have any questions for me. Well done, lady. Appreciate all the info. Thanks, Michelle. Thank you. I really do hope that you guys have found it helpful. So, even if you don't reach out to me, reach out to someone. I mean, get assistance with this, because like I said, it's so important to the longevity of your life, and especially your mobility. It just kills me. Kills me to think that, people who are even younger than me, and I'm 49. I have to remind myself how old I am. I'm 49. People younger than me are really struggling, even just to walk. And it doesn't have to be that way, you guys. Just reach out. Thanks so much for watching. If I could just talk, that would be awesome. Thanks again, guys. Have an awesome day.